the cloud. Okay, and then share screen. Okay, guys, please, if you have any questions, if you want to say something, please feel free. I like having more of conversation type of talks than just lectures. I do not give lectures, okay? We have conversations here. So, well, welcome to the talk. And the way that I want to start this session, it's with a prayer. So I was actually thinking what song can symbolize to me the way that God himself accompanies me. Because the reality is that we can accompany others because first we are accompanied, and God is the one that accompanies us first. So this song, it's called Highs and Lows. I believe many of you have heard it. I really like it a lot because for me, this song is the way that God takes care of me and the way that God accompanies me. So this is gonna be our opening prayer. So we can all like make the sign of the cross, and then I'll play the song. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
We can, I don't know about everyone else, but I can barely hear it.
You can't hear it?
No,
I can't hear it either.
No, like super low. Yes.
Maybe I just have to put it.
You have to share computer sound.
Let's see. Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you for telling me. Tell me where could I run from your love? Where could I hide? And within your precious love, there's no hiding from your love. Highs and lows, lost you with me the way it goes. Should I rise or should I fall? Even so, Lord, your mercies and even flow. You're too good to let me go. Should I dance on the heights or make my bed another days? Your mercy waits at every end, like you planned it from the start. To the dawn, come with wings, or find me far side of the sea. There your hand still fastens me, ever closer to your heart. Oh, highs and lows, Lord, you're with me the way it goes. Should I rise or should I fall? Even so, Lord, your mercies even flow. Should I rise or should I fall? Oh my gosh, you girl. Thank you. So I've removed my camera. So how do I share sound? Okay.
Share computer sound.
Okay. So we just click here now and see what happens. Or I just wait for the when it finishes.
Yeah, when it finishes, then.
Actually, I'm gonna stop it here already because that's the bridge and it's quite long. So let's just click it now already.
Okay.
Gude, you can hear you.
And then, do you have video clips? No.
I have video clips.
Okay.
Excellent. Thanks, Chell. Sure. Chelsea just came to give me a lesson on how to use the computer sound. So, can you all hear me? Yes.
Yes.
The reason why I like this song is precisely because of that phrase that says, "You're too good to let me go." Really, that's the phrase that can summarize as well, like the attitude of someone that accompanies. And you as missionary, that you will be accompanying some girls, like if we accompany someone, because first we were accompanied and we learn, this is very important, we learn how to accompany someone by the way that we ourselves have been accompanied. So when you have experienced that from God, like you're too good to let me go, whether I find myself here or I find myself there, you will always reach out there to me. That's the way we do it for the girls that God has given you already, because I believe some of you have already been ECYD team leaders or Regnum Christi team leaders, or you've, in some reason, some way or another, you have been formators in your sections, or you have been team leaders or heads of a youth program for sure or something. So that's basically like how I would like all of us to experience how our hearts reach out to these people that God has entrusted to us, right? So the next slide after this morning prayer, I just want to move on to the next one. A ver. There. Okay. So this picture symbolizes Jesus with the disciples of Emmaus when they're going back. So I would like to ask 2 or 3 missionaries like to share with us what this picture evokes on you knowing the gospel passage, right? Like these disciples were sad, discouraged. They felt that they, like they were mocked even. And all of a sudden Jesus comes alongside them and he has a really beautiful moment of accompaniment with these two. So anyone would like to share like what's one element that you see in the way that Jesus accompanied these disciples of Emmaus? Any volunteers? Anyone that would like to do it, 2 or 3?
Well, I think that it's I don't know, I feel like related because when I'm sad, like the only person that I know for certain that understands me and somehow is there is God and is Jesus
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just that I know that he loves me because if you're sad and someone tells you like, oh, don't be sad, like just be happy, it's not comfortable, but he gives you like comfort, he gives you that hug, he's like
Yeah.
sad with you, you know.
Correct. Yeah, that's beautiful, baby. Thank you. Yeah. 1 or 2 more?
I guess just to bounce off from what Vivi said, um, well, based on the picture and knowing the story of what happened, it seems that Jesus is able to empathize with them. So that goes beyond, yeah, like it goes beyond hearing them, like what they're feeling. It's really understanding and sort of putting yourself in their position.
Right.
And like even that simple gesture, just like putting his hand on the shoulder of, I'm not sure who that is, but yeah, like that just shows how like even in accompaniment when we accompany, for example, our girls in ECYD or young women, yeah, I guess there's that certain level of putting ourselves in their shoes and being able to relate to them in that sense.
Right. Exactly. Thank you. Chelsea, you want to go also?
Yes.
Go for it.
Yeah, like I guess relating to what Vivi said, actually, like how Jesus meets them where they are. Like he doesn't say like, "Oh, don't be sad." He's kind of like talking to them in the way that they would understand also, or like in the way that they would handle like their grief after Jesus' death, which is talking about scripture and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that for me, this was very eye-opening to think of this gospel passage when I think of the way that I want to accompany, because Jesus didn't even like reveal himself to them. He was genuinely just wanting to be there for them, to console their hearts, and not to impress them. And when we are missionaries, we have to keep that very much in mind. We've all have heard many times that we are not what we do. And when you are a missionary, you are also not what you do. And I know that as missionaries, sometimes we give a lot of importance to that because, of course, it matters to us what we do, right? Someone messaged me here. I don't know if it's one of you guys trying to enter in the chat. Okay. You can't hear me? No. Okay. I think it's fine. Now you can hear me, right? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Sí,
Eso
okay.
fue la canción.
I think it was about the song. Yeah, probably. Sorry. So when you're a missionary, it's also not about what you do. It's important. Yes, definitely. But if we know that it's not what we do, but who we are, the missionary year, it's your like most beautiful year of your life, to go deeper into yourself and realize that the best thing you can do is to make of yourself a gift for others. And that's what Jesus did with the disciples of Emmaus in this moment. He made himself a gift to them. It was not about what he did. It was not about how he impressed them. It was not about the fact that, you guys, come on, I'm here, it's me. You know, it's like, no. He hid himself from them. And he revealed them at the breaking of the bread. And we all know that the Eucharist is the most, like, it's an act of self-giving of God. He dies, is his passion, death, and resurrection. So that also comes to show to us, why is it that your biggest act of accompaniment is your own acts of self-giving for your girls, just like Jesus concluded this moment of encounter with the disciples of Emmaus. The culmination of his encounter was his self-giving. So in your missionary year, the biggest treasure that you have is your relationships. The most beautiful way of being able to give yourself to your girls would be by all those moments of see if I can accept someone. Shucks, would I have to? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. I think I have to stop sharing to admit. Yes, there, admit it. Welcome, Paula. Okay, excellent. I guess we're good to go. So in your missionary year, relationships won't be perfect, but it is important for all of you to know that it's relationships at the core of your missionary year. When I have conversations with the missionaries here, and even myself, like, I've always known that my main first apostolate, it's friendships. Friendship, it's a beautiful avenue for evangelization. I would actually say friendship is a natural avenue for evangelization. The closer you are to the girls that God has entrusted to you, the more beautiful and deep the relationship is, the better you can accompany them, the more you can evangelize, the more you can do for them, right? So, but as I was saying, don't expect perfect relationships, right? It's more of like your relationship will be perfect in as much as you make of yourself a gift, which is an avenue for self-giving, is the accompaniment, right? Most of you, I would say, would be working with high school girls, middle school girls, maybe some of you even with lower school, right, children, and well, they are still younger than you, right? And sometimes the high school girl, especially for those who will be in academies, the girl will hate you and love you the same day, you know? It's like they're so volatile in their emotions and in their feelings. So if you based your love for her in the volatile of the relation of the feelings and emotions, well, it's going to be a very unstable type of accompaniment and relationship. But if your accompaniment to this girl is based on the love that Jesus has for you and the love that you want to offer her, like you as a channel of the love of God, then the basis for this relationship and accompaniment will be in a safe ground. Basically, you'll be building on rock, your house, and not building on sand, okay? So I am going to move on to a nice clip here of accompaniment.
It's a mess. You must feel horrible. You've lost everything. Your father, your tribe, your best friend.
Thank you for summing that up. Why couldn't I have killed that dragon when I found him in the woods? Would have been better for everyone.
Yep, the rest of us would have done it. So why didn't you? Why didn't you?
I don't know. I couldn't.
That's not an answer.
Why is this so important to you all of a sudden?
Because I want to remember what you say right now.
Oh, for the love of it, I was a coward. I was weak. I wouldn't kill a dragon.
You said wouldn't that time.
Okay, whatever. I wouldn't. 300 years, and I'm the first Viking who wouldn't kill a dragon.
First to ride one, though. So...
I wouldn't kill him because he looked as frightened as I was. I looked at him, and I saw myself.
I bet he's really frightened now. What are you gonna do about it?
Probably something stupid.
Good, but you've already done that.
Then something crazy.
That's more like it.
So you might be wondering, why did I want to put this video? I wanted to put this video because when we offer accompaniment, there are different ways of doing it according to the role that you play in that person's life. Everyone accompanies each other, but a mother accompanies her daughter in a different way, from a consecrated in spiritual direction, from a missionary in her missionary year. So I think that this video symbolizes in a very tender, spontaneous, humorous way even, the way that a missionary can accompany the girls, right? I think because it's different, the accompaniment that you give someone in spiritual direction from an accompaniment that you can give as a missionary, right? So through this talk, I hope that you can have some light on how you as a missionary, from the gift of the fact that you're a missionary, because that gives you something so beautiful. The fact that you're the missionary, the girls look up to you, but at the same time, you're like one of them as well. You're not the consecrated or the dean of students or the parent at school or the teacher, right? They still see you very, very close to them. It's I mean, I myself, it's very easy for me, which it could also be for some of you. Just go back to when you were in high school, middle school, or lower school, and how you would look up to the missionaries. Or when you were in the academy, the way that you would look up to the missionaries in the academy, right? Well, that's you now. That is how the girls are gonna look at you right now. Like, she's a friend, she's older than me, she can be my older sister, she's there to help me, she's there to guide me and to be my friend, right? So the important thing here as well that I wanted to emphasize, getting this clip and the picture of the disciples of Emmaus, is that we cannot bring someone where we haven't been ourselves. And the main objective of accompaniment is for you to bring these girls closer to God. that's what you want to do for these girls, right? Like, why did you become a missionary? So I think, I mean, I would like to think that you all became missionaries for many reasons, right? But I'm sure one of those is to bring people closer to Christ, right? So if your main or one of the main reasons of why you became a missionary is to bring people closer to Christ, then you have to be in Christ to be able to bring them where you want them to be, right? And there are many ways of doing this. You have to be creative and you have to know your girls. So if you notice, this friend, even though she started like kind of rude, like she was insulting him at the beginning, and that's not what I want you to do with your girls. But because she knew him well, she knew how to like push him to do something good, something that was going to be helpful for everyone, right? So when you're a missionary, you need to get to know your girls well, to be able to love them the way they need to be loved, to challenge them the way they need to be challenged, to form them. Of course, all of these are elements of accompaniment, right? So now we're gonna read, I know that the missionaries from the US have been reading Evangelium Gaudium, right? No, what have you been reading?
Gaudete
Okay, Gaudete Exultante. So I got confused with document, but anyway. This is a beautiful phrase from Pope Francis that I really like a lot, and we're gonna read it, and then I'm gonna ask 2 or 3 of you again to answer some questions that I'm gonna project later. So as you can see, I really do not like giving lectures, so like just chat with me through the session. So Pope Francis says, when we live out a spirituality of drawing near to others and seeking their welfare, our hearts are open wide to the Lord's greatest and most beautiful gift. So I just have to move this, because since I'm reading my screen, I have to move where you guys there. Beautiful gift. Whenever we encounter another person in love, we learn something new about God. Whenever we encounter another person in love, we learn something new about God. Whenever our eyes are open to acknowledge the other, we grow in the light of faith and knowledge of God. A committed missionary knows the joy of being a spring which spills over and refreshes others. A spring which spills over and refreshes others. Only the person who feels happiness in seeking the good of others, in desiring their happiness, can be a missionary. This openness of heart is a source of joy, since it is more blessed to give than to receive. We do not live better when we flee, hide, refuse to share, stop giving, and lock ourselves up into our comforts. Such a life is nothing less than a slow suicide. Wow. So these are 2 questions that I would like to ask, same 2 or 3 to answer. Weeks, sorry. You can choose to answer 1 question or 2 questions. It's up to you. So the first one is, what will be an obstacle that makes you flee to your comfort zone? What can help us to overcome what hinders us from sharing Jesus?
Gude, I have a question.
Yes,
What
Isa.
does flee to our comfort zone means?
Cuando te escapas a tu zona de confort.
Okay. O sea, cuando te quedas en tu zona de confort.
Es más bien cuando te escapas, no es que entonces it's like you went out to meet the person and you were like so scared or uncomfortable, or all of a sudden you're not up for the challenge anymore, that you flee back. It's like te retiras. It's like let's go, let's leave, danger type of thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Why don't you answer the question, Isa?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah.
Great.
Just give me a second.
Perfect, no problem.
Maybe for me, this is something I like have tell before, but maybe the language. Like, I really want to get to know like the American girls, like really close. But to be honest, I'm a little bit scared of the language, because sometimes it's not the same to speak with someone you understand in the same way. So that might be something I will have to work on, but God is going to help me. So
Definitely.
that could be getting to know the American girls as well as the Mexican ones.
Definitely. Yeah. If it helps you, here in the Philippines, I think Chelsea and Reina will agree with me. We have a very beautiful, wonderful consecrated woman. Her name is Laurita, and her English is really not that great, but her love and joy are evangelizers in itself, So I think that, I have in my house I'm a witness of someone that has a hard time with the language, and she touches hearts like no other. So really don't see the language as a barrier. If you love those girls, if you share with them your joy and your love for Christ, that's gonna be so attractive to them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Of course, Isa. Yes. Anyone else?
I was just gonna say that sometimes just the fear of letting people down, or not meeting the expectations, or not being accepted or something, sometimes hold me back and make me go into my comfort zone. If I don't think that people are don't think that people like me or something, or if I'm not doing enough, then I can hold back. But I think that if sometimes I rely too much on myself when I'm doing things, but if I'm able to trust in God and just rely on his strength and not my own, then and ask for the things that I can't do and just do what I can, then I think that's one way to overcome it too.
Yeah, definitely. I remember when well, as I said at the beginning, I was an easy whitey girl all my life, and I remember when I came to this other side of the realities, when I was not the easy whitey girl anymore, but I was the consecrated, it helped me a lot to realize that when I was as a girl, I didn't remember anything about the activities of the summer camp, or if there was any problem or anything. The thing that I remember the most was to see how much the consecrated and the missionaries loved each other and how well they work with each other. So if it can help you, Maria, it gave me a lot of peace, that thought, because then it helped me to realize if this is what I remember, right, now that time has passed by, how much they loved each other. That's the biggest expectation that the girls have on us, really. And I think that you have a heart that is definitely willing to do that for them, right? So, because sometimes we are the ones that demand the most of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
We're super demanding with ourselves, and no one is asking us for that but us ourselves. And I guess as St. Paul says, right, if I have no love, then there's nothing really that I can do for anyone. So I believe that this helped me to remove that fear of the expectations, to know that what the girl will remember, it's how much I loved her and how much us, the team, how much they saw me loving my missionary sister, the consecrated that I work with, herself, of course. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing, Maria.
You're welcome.
One more.
I would say that an obstacle that I think would make me sort of shrink back, I guess, and not want to do it is speaking in front of people, having to give a talk or something. I know that's inevitable, it's gonna have to be done, so, but I don't know, I just that fear of failure, I guess. But
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that very real, practical fear, because it is, yes, something that as a missionary you will be doing, right? Well, all of us, we find different motivations within us to be able to overcome that fear. So I'll pray that you can find your motivation, Jane. Yes. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Okay, well, I hope that all of you can have this in mind, right? Like, what can be an obstacle for you to flee to your comfort zone and not, you know, like accompany the people that you haven't trusted with, or what can help you, you know, overcome the hinders of sharing Jesus. So, okay, very well. So, what is accompaniment? So, not just sentiments, but concrete action with the right disposition of the heart, walking with someone not ahead of them or behind them, just like Jesus did in the road to Emmaus. To love people as Christ loves them, not only for what you see or appreciate in them, a grace to pray for. Not only for what you see or appreciate in them, a grace to ask for. Because there will be girls where you're serving or people that you cannot connect with, you know, like the student or this girl or this teacher or this mom that you're intimidated by or that you don't like or that you name it, right? And it's gonna be hard, but what you have to ask this grace to pray for is that you can see Jesus in that person and love Jesus in that person. To love people as they need to be loved rather than how you need to be loved, to listen more than to speak. The last one, I recently heard this phrase, well, not recently, but when I heard, I really like it. The way that we were created is a symbol of how much more we need to listen than to speak. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So this means that we have to hear double from what we speak. So that can be a symbol to help you realize, yes, like to listen, it's very important. And the reality is that nowadays, society, culture doesn't teach us how to listen. So if you are able to bring the gift of a girl, like if the girl feels listened by you, is one of the biggest gifts you can give someone. People are thirsty. People are very needy to know that they are listened to more than talked to, you know, like everyone, all of us, we know we're surrounded by a lot of things happening around us, and we ourselves can recognize that it's not often to find people that are good at listening, right? It's not often to find people that are good at listening. So we're going to move on now to a little bit more practical, but I think that is still very important, especially because your missionary year is just a year. So you have to be very intentional and at the same time realistic when it comes to accompaniment, okay? It's very different to have been in a country for 11 years, like I have been able to be here in the Philippines, than to be a missionary just for 1 year. But I've seen missionaries here in the Philippines with just 1 year impacting the life of those girls in a way that it's beautiful, impressive, life-changing, life-giving, amazing. So what are these stages of accompaniment? So these are the different stages in the process of accompaniment. So the introductory stage, relationship building stage, the growth stage, maturing stage, transition stage, termination. It's very simple for you since you're going to be a missionary for a year. Hopefully some of you can give too. That is something also very beautiful and very fruitful for the place where you're in. So the introductory stage, of course, is when you arrive, and the termination is technically when you end your year. The beautiful thing now, though, is that technology really helps us to stay connected. So when you finish your missionary year, in somehow your accompaniment to this girl has a termination, it ends, but not quite, because you really can still be connected to your girls. If you're gonna be close by where you live, like if you're from the States, you can always go back to the city and visit the girls, if it's their graduation or their birthday or a special moment, you name it, no? So this, if you write down the stages, basically the exercise that I want to encourage you to do when you start your year, of course, because right now you don't have your girls in mind, is this one. So this little thingy here, chart, which I sent to Lisa, Lisa's gonna be giving you this paper. You can write the name of the girl, the stage where you find yourself in, and possible means to help this girl. So, because as I said, as a missionary, you only have 1 year and you have to be intentional, right? So I don't know if there are some girls that you already know in the locality where you will be, or in the academy or locality where you will be serving. But this is just something practical. If it doesn't help you, don't do it. But if you need something that helps you be more intentional in your relationship with the girls, to be able to accompany them better, because remember, all of this is the objective, to be able to bring them to Christ, right? Because that's the main purpose of accompaniment, to bring a person closer to Christ. So this hopefully can be a chart that can help you. Okay. In Regnum Christi, we have different types of accompaniment, okay? And that is very simple. We're gonna read first the number of the statutes. So in the Regnum Christi statutes, which you all have access to in the missionary website that was given to you, the statutes are there. So in chapter 3, the apostolic activity of the Regnum Christi Federation, the number 35 speaks about accompaniment and spiritual direction. So accompaniment is required to form convinced apostles who aspire to the fullness of life in Christ. Accompaniment is understood as close, stable, personal attention made by selfless. Sorry, that was a really bad mistake. Accompaniment is understood as close, stable, personal attention marked by selfless service. It seeks to help the other to be open to the action of grace and contribute their own human collaboration, so they can respond to the questions and challenges they encounter on their journey of human and spiritual growth. Then the spiritual direction is not something really that applies to you, since you guys won't really be giving spiritual direction. So something that I think about a lot when it comes to accompaniment is, in my personal journey and in the journeys of some people that I've noticed, is the way that I got close, although I grew up in Regnum Christi, the way that I really decided to stay in Regnum Christi, if you think about it, sometimes it starts with a friendship. With friendship is the best way of accompaniment. Remember that I said a while ago, friendship is the best ground for accompaniment. So when you are friends with a person, is the best way of accompanying them. When I saw people entering Regnum Christi, I saw them entering, or the relationship with Christ, I saw them coming closer because of the friendship that they had with this person. And then the click of staying in a relationship with Christ, it became, of course, after, through the gift of prayer, of being close to Jesus. But it is quite impressive to me to notice that it really starts with a friendship. It starts with an accompaniment. People come because of the friendship with a person. People stay because of a friendship with Christ. So I hope that this helps you to see the importance of your accompaniment, of your friendship, of your presence in the life of these girls. You will be like the first avenue of that encounter for them with Jesus. So different ways of accompaniment that we offer in Regnum Christi. It's these 3 ones, but the main ones for all of you as missionaries will be the team dialogue and apostolic dialogue, because most likely you guys will be like team leaders or heads of apostolic, you'll be in charge of the ECYD team leaders, or the head of the section B or whatever in the academy, So what are they? So team dialogue, what is it? A periodic, often monthly conversation, a friendly discussion illuminated by faith that we have with our team leader, so as to help us live as men and women of the kingdom in a world which is often hostile to that mission. It is a means to personal holiness. It helps us to fight, to get up when we fall, to keep striving to achieve our goals, and to persevere in the movement. Apostolic dialogue. The supportive relationship of an apostolate with a mentor or director to discuss strategy, methodology, and implementation of an apostolic work. So if you noticed, as a missionary, most likely you'll be doing both. You might be the team leader of the girls, and at the same time, you will be helping them to execute activities. Something that I've noticed in Regnum Christi is that the missionaries are like the facilitators of the people in the ground. So for example, if you're in charge of the ECYD activities of middle school, you normally are the one in charge of the team leaders of middle school. So you're technically maybe not like hands-on with the girls, you're really hands-on with the team leaders. So you need to give like this team dialogue to your team leader, and an apostolic dialogue as well. It's like, so how are you doing with your girls? How do you think that the talk helped them? Do you think it really helped them? Do you really think that we were able to reach them where they're at? Or for example, if it's a team dialogue, so how are you doing? Do you enjoy your team? Is it good for you to be there? Are these girls helping you to be better? You know, things like that, which here it's explained as well. Okay, so the purpose of a team dialogue helps us to imitate Christ in a daily life, help us to learn and live the charism of the movement, encourages us on the journey of growth, gives human, spiritual, apostolic, and intellectual formation at the general level, and encourages us to go deeper. Apostolic dialogue. Well, let me talk about team dialogue first. I was talking with Raina and Chelsea yesterday just briefly, and I was like, we were having a conversation of what is it that you as missionaries offer the girls the most, right? And Reina was saying, I think that the fact that we are lay, it helps us to be able to relate with them more. We as consecrated, objectively speaking, the girls don't think that they can be like us, but the girls do think that they can be like you. So I really like a lot how here in the team dialogue that you offer to your girl, you can help her imitate Christ in her daily life in a better way, because the girl cannot identify with us as consecrated. They don't make vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. But with you, they can identify themselves really well. So it's a more like close to home conversation in this team dialogue. Apostolic dialogue, what's the purpose of it? To form, please feel free to interrupt me when you have questions or when you want to say something, okay? To form others according to our methodology. Do, help do, let do, but accompany the apostle. To accompany the apostolate. To ensure support for the apostolate in the mission field, which can be demanding. To provide support and direction regarding methods and apostolic work and strategy in their implementation. The reality is that most likely you will be older than them, or also, I mean, the experience that you guys have had in this training course as formators in your sections and for the years that you've been in Regnum Christi, you will be able to always contribute and collaborate in the way that the apostolates are being run on the ground. You know, like in Houston, ECYD is huge, it's really big, and so is it in Ohio. In the academy as well, that's the main purpose of a missionary, right? Like help the girls, some of them discern if ECYD is for them, and if they would like to do their pledge of friendship with Christ, if they would like to join ECYD. So you guys have experience to be able to offer solutions and ideas, right, to the people there. So what do you provide? So, sorry, who provides it? Well, in your case, you guys are gonna be taking some of these rules, like the team leader, right? Or the head of the apostolate, helping the people there. So the content in the team dialogue, team participation, RC Life elements, the AFIRE means like their apostolate, formation, integration, recruit resources, and economy. Concerns of the life, team life goals like punctuality, speaking well of others, participation, charity on the team, personal dynamics of the team. So to help the girls really bond with each other, to be like a beacon of light for the team. In the apostolic dialogue, implementation of apostolate, apostolic strategy, methodology, problem solving. And that's related with what I was talking about earlier with the purpose. Don't underestimate all the experience that you have just because you're in a place that you don't know. You have your own personal perspectives, views, opinions, and it's valid for you to express that and to try it out, right? To see how it can help the locality where you're in. Okay, so now I want to ask maybe more of you, probably like 5 of you. Well, do you guys have any questions from the things that I've just, it's a ton of information, sorry. I'm gonna send, well, this stays recorded so you guys can listen to it again or go back to it again if you have any questions. So now I would like to ask 5 of you, if you can share like who is someone that has accompanied you well, and like why has this person accompanied you well? Why can you say that this person has accompanied you well?
Can I go first?
Yes, please.
Do I have to say her name or?
You don't have to, optional. If you would like to share who it is, go for it.
Well, her name is Ivana Flores. I know her because I don't know why I know her. I met her when I when I finished my ECYD stage, and then I entered Reino here in Hermosillo. She was in charge of missions here, and then she became the section director because we don't have consecrated here, so she's in charge of Red Christi girls. And she was also my team leader in my first year of high school.
Okay.
But she became my friend before that year. But she's like 26, like she's older than me. And she accompanied me.
Accompanies me.
Accompanied me. She has been accompanying me because she's still here
Nice.
since I met her literally, but everything started as friendship. And right
Mm.
now that you said that friendship is the best way of accompaniment,
Correct.
I think that's true, because she has helped me a lot in my spiritual life, but she has also been there like in every fall I have had this past year. And she has helped me grow also in like personally, and I know that I can call her whatever time and whatever day it is in the week. She will answer. And I don't know, everything just has become like more beautiful each time because she's also like my big sister.
Nice.
I don't know. And right now she is in Monterrey with the consecrated and
wow.
So right now, like
Wow.
I can see a lot how prayer is like the most direct dialogue you can have with someone you love. Because even if she's there and I'm here, and with the pandemic and everything,
right,
we're closer than ever. And I don't know, I feel like that's like key for
yes.
And yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Lisa.
Yes.
Yes, it is very beautiful. I'll be praying for her. So I guess I know who, I mean, we all got a picture to see who are the ones in the summer course to enter the candidacy.
Her name is Ivana.
So, Ivana. Okay, thank you. Yeah, definitely we'll pray for her. We also have a Filipina there. Her name is Mika.
Yes, I know. I met her in Monterrey with Ceci.
There
she
you
was
go.
in Monterrey. I love her.
Yeah, she's the best.
She's the best.
She's the best, no? She's like a sister to these two and a daughter to me, really. So
it was really beautiful to watch her grow all this year while she was discerning. It was really an example, and I love her very much. And I'm really excited that she's in the summer course.
I know. Yeah, let's keep praying for her, Ceci. I'm glad that we have so many friends in common. The Regnum Christi movement is it's a small world, even though it's all around.
Yes.
Nice. Do you want to share, Ceci? Maybe someone that has accompanied you well.
Yes, I can share. Well, I think my Overbrook instructor was really there for me, and she still has been till this day, 5 years later. She has been through everything with me. I think it's really important, and also two consecrated here in Monterrey that are also my friends and my spiritual director. So I think it's really fun, like to share those stories like with them. So they have accompanied me through all my co-worker process and everything, and it's really has been a true blessing to have them.
Yeah. So you would say really that it was friendship why they were able to accompany you well also?
Yes. Well, my
Yeah.
instructor started to me as a mom, and the two
Yes.
consecrated here as friends. So it's really
Nice.
great to have like both.
Both type of relationships, right?
Yes.
Nice. Very good. Someone else?
I can go.
Yes.
So my spiritual director has been a great friend to me. She's been in Cincinnati since I was 11. So she's had me as a challenge girl and a team leader, and now she's sending me off for my mission year.
Who's this?
And Jackie Lustig.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
She's great.
She's the best.
Mm-hmm. She, like, junior high was really hard for me, and that's like around the time that she came. So when she got there, she believed in me when like nobody else would, and she was like the only friend that I had because, you know, school was weird. She just really helped me become who I am, and without her, my life would look completely different.
Wow. Grace, did I meet you in Cincinnati? Like when we had the reunion of consecrated there?
Yeah, I think so.
We met there, no? When I was with Maria Cano's Jackie, and a lot of you were had been easy whitey missionaries.
Yeah, I was there.
Right? Yeah, we met. I was like, this face looks so familiar. Nice to see you again, Grace.
Yeah, you too.
Yes. Nice. I'm glad you're being a missionary. Yeah. I think, Grace, with what you just mentioned, it's so beautiful how, like, when someone loves you the right way, it's so healing, right? And I think that you as missionaries will have that, if I can call it like power, if you understand me correctly, your love can heal the girls that you will be encountering, right? We live in a society that brings to us people that we ourselves are broken, and a lot of people around us are broken, some of us more than others, right? But your pure love for the girls that you will be entrusted to can heal them so much, right? Thank you for sharing, Grace.
Yeah, Jackie, she really inspired me to be a missionary because she always like would say, be the person you needed when you were younger. And she was exactly who I needed. So I want to be that person for someone else.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Thank you, Grace. Very good. Anyone else?
Okay. I was gonna say Jackie too, so that's when you said like, I was like, oh my gosh. I think I met her like 3 or 4 years ago on one of the missions in Cincinnati, and she was she's just so much fun, and she's just so anyway, as I got to know her, she would be the one to like reach out and be like, hey, we should hang out sometime, and like I totally just want to get to know you more, and like being so interested in me and what I was doing, and like I don't know, it's just so cool. And we would get like we would go on weekly coffee dates just to like talk about like what's going on in our life and everything. And then she would always ask like how is your heart doing, like, and just really just helping me through everything, and like help me discern like the mission trip and everything too. So I don't know, she's just always been there for me through the whole thing, and I can definitely always talk to her. And anyway, so
nice. I have someone, sorry, Mary, I have someone in the waiting room.
Oh.
How do I get there? There, admit all. Okay. Welcome, Fiona and girls. I was able to admit everyone, right? Yes. Okay. Very well. Oh gosh, what did I do? Why can't I see you anymore?
Mm,
Can you guys see me?
yes. Yeah.
And you can see my screen.
Yes. I think if
Okay.
you go to gallery view, that should help.
That's you, Fiona. Oh my gosh, my heart.
I miss you. Side note.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Goodness. I don't know why this looks different from before. Before I was able to see you all. Gosh, this is so weird. I don't see you anymore. But you know what? A ver. I guess I shouldn't.
Es que nosotras vemos la barrita esa que tú ves. Chance quítalo, vuelve a poner. Sorry for speaking Spanish, but it's easier.
Está perfecto. Sí, no te preocupes. Pero a ver, where do I have to click here to be able to see you all? I was able to see you with no problem a while ago.
No,
O deja de compartir.
lo que tienes que hacer, deja de compartir pantalla y lo pones en grande. Ajá. A ver, deja de compartir pantalla. Y vamos paso por paso.
La tía Montea,
ya dejé de compartir.
¿La dejaste de compartir? Ok,
Ya.
ahora, ya le pusiste en tu pantalla, lo maximizaste, ya está en grande tu presentación.
Espérate, si ya dijo que
Chelsea came to help me.
No, nada más, tranquila, todo va a estar bien. Ahora dale compartir, dale compartir pantalla y ya te debe aparecer.
No, you have to click it. See, you're not on mute. You click on the thing because you did that.
I shared the wrong thing. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
just stay here. The most embarrassing thing is that all of this is being recorded, y'all. Okay. There. Can you just stay here, please? Okay. Thanks. Yes, sorry, Reina. Sorry. We're about to finish. Just for the last 10 minutes. Come, get your chair.
Pollo moral.
Of course. No, it's important that you hear them too. What about this? This one. Okay. So the speaker of my
Do you guys speak English with each other or Filipino? I don't know how to say that.
Well, she wished she could speak Filipino with me, but I don't speak Filipino.
She wishes she could understand.
Exactly.
English.
We speak English, exactly. So, one last. We already had 3 people or 4? 2 more people to share, no?
You had 4.
I already had 4? Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you share, Chelsea?
Me?
Now that you're here.
Okay. Well, actually, someone that has accompanied me super well is my spiritual director. Yeah. So that's that's Claire, for those who know her. And why has she accompanied me so well? I think, like, if we're going back to the road to Emmaus story, like, it's really how Jesus like met them where they were. That's kind of how Claire was to me. Like, challenging me, but also like, in a way, not pressuring me also. Like, it was the perfect kind of push that I needed at the time. Because she's been my SG since high school, and I graduated college now. So like, it was really like, it's been a long time, and like I think I've matured a lot in those years, and ever since then, like, she's really known like how to meet me where I am and to guide me in the right way.
Thank you, Chelsea, for sharing. Would there be anyone else that wants to share? I said 5, but it's okay. We can have a couple of more if someone wants to. If not, we can move on.
I can share that everyone has said consecrated, but I've had not a father, but un hermano, like the ones that are studying to become.
Brother.
Because all the legendaries that come to Costa Rica stay in my house, so they become like big brothers.
Oh.
And there was one, his name is Jorge Mora. I don't know if any of you guys know him. And I love him with all my heart. And he has been my director espiritual. It's weird having a man, but it's better because he gives another perspective that a consecrated cannot see. It's cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. Very, very beautiful. I'm happy that we've had like all like layperson for Hermosillo, Then consecrated brother. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Okay. Very well. So I'm going to share with you something that makes Chelsea laugh a lot. As I said, it's not the first time that I've given this talk. And when I was trying to teach our formators here in the Philippines, like I was just trying to communicate why it's so much better to be accompanied by you guys. Like I want to be able to transmit to you that the accompaniment that a lay person can give a lay person, it's wonderful and amazing. It's basically tying it to helping you get out of your comfort zone and to remove the things that hinder you from feeling that you can accompany someone. As it was mentioned, no, like when someone has accompanied you, it's like your spiritual director, consecrated, the brother, and then, well, one of you shared the section director, which is lovely and excellent because that supports my point. So the analogy, when I was thinking, what analogy can I find to help them realize the importance of the way that you guys as lay people can accompany that we cannot offer, okay? So this is the analogy that I was able to put together. I hope it helps you. I personally love yogurt, but I love more frozen yogurt, okay? So like in my house, we do homemade yogurt. I actually learned how to make homemade yogurt. I haven't learned yet how to make frozen yogurt. I'll get there eventually, I hope. So we keep the yogurt in a glass container that it always looks the same, okay? So the glass container is like our baptism. Whether I'm a consecrated or you're not, we're all baptized. We are all in the same container of our baptism, okay? So when I arrive to the refrigerator of my house and I feel like eating yogurt, I open the door, I see the container and it's like, this is yogurt. When I open it and it's yogurt, I love it, you know? So that's like people expecting a consecrated or a brother or a priest to accompany them and bring them closer to Christ. When I open that container and I try it and I realize that it's frozen yogurt and not just yogurt, I'm 10 times happier, you know? And that's like one of you guys, a lay people, accompanying someone in the path to Christ. Oh, that's a great idea. So basically, what I want to share with you guys here is that the joy of the unexpected beauty that you guys can give someone in the area of accompaniment to bring them closer to Christ, it's beautiful because it's expected from us. But sadly, the world hasn't made it, it's not an expectation, right? That sometimes you guys have to each other in college or in high school, or, you know, I mean, as a missionary, definitely. It's something that people will be expecting. But you will be a missionary just for 1 year. And I hope that you realize that accompaniment is not just a 1-year thing. Once a missionary, always a missionary. And Fiona can tell you that. She keeps coming back to the courses of the Reino Christi missionaries. It's like your third, no, Fiona, or something like that.
She's not here.
She's here. No, I saw her. She
Anyway.
left. Oh, she left. So let's admit her.
She's in the waiting room.
There, she's admitted. So there. I hope I was able to transmit like the excitement that I feel when I think of lay people accompanying lay people. There is a beauty there that you guys give that no one else can give. So I hope that this like hypes you up to know that you can do it and that it is beautiful when you do it. Super beautiful. So I don't know if the analogy helped. I hope it did. If you can think of any other better one, you can let me know, please. So now I put this picture here, and this is the way that I want to conclude this accompaniment talk, because the Filipinas, we have to go to mass. It starts in 5 minutes. I want you guys, I also sent this picture to Lisa. So hopefully if you guys can print that image, and at the back of the picture, write down your prayer to Jesus to help you be a good shepherd to your flock. So, I mean, really, you can write any prayer that you want, but I would like to encourage you to write a prayer of asking Jesus to help you be a good shepherd to the people that he will be entrusting to you during your year. What do you think you need to ask Jesus to be a better shepherd for them. So I love this picture a lot also. And as well, I gave to Lisa an article about accompaniment that you can read on your own, and it can help you reflect about different characteristics and elements of accompaniment. So basically, that's the talk that I wanted to give you guys. We can stop sharing indeed. And stop recording probably also. I don't know. Fiona, do we stop recording? Yeah, let's stop recording. See.